Hi there, I'm Stephen Durkin, CEO of AusIMM, and it's my great pleasure today to be as part of our leading conversation series here in Perth, interviewing Eduardo Coloma, or having a conversation with Eduardo, the CEO of Maptek, and really delighted here to be this week at APCOM. And Eduardo spoke as a keynote, delivered a keynote presentation yesterday. So Eduardo, welcome.
Oh, thank you, Stephen, for having me.
Yeah. Maybe we could start with APCOM, the conference itself. APCOM, of course, stands for Application of Computers and Operations Research in the Minerals Industry. Bit of a mouthful. Tell us a little bit about APCOM, the conference, because you've been here for the past couple of days, and also why this is an important conference for Maptek to be a platinum sponsor of.
Sure. So APCOM has been fantastic. I mean, one of the good things about APCOM is that you can explore operation research things and new things that we are doing. So for us, it's very important to participate in this kind of conference because it puts us very close with the industry and with the academia as well, which is very important for what is coming next. You know, so I think about APCOM like a mirror and a magnifier, you know, a mirror because allow us to see what is happening today, but a magnifier because give us the opportunity to see what is coming next.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's a nice way to say it. I like how you've described the conference content, which we've at AusIMM worked really hard to create, you know, high quality technical content that's internationally credible, delivered by international experts like yourself. And delivered in a very practical way. And maybe that's kind of a point that we can kind of draw out in this conversation today, the practical application of automation technology and computers. Tell us a bit about Maptek, the company, just to help us get our bearings in terms of what Maptek's all about.
So Maptek is an Australian company. We've been in the business since 1981, always focusing on mining. We've been growing to be a global company. We got offices around the world. We've been doing business for more than 40 or close to 45 years across, and we got application across the whole mining value chain. We got a great team across the world, and we are very excited to continue delivering technology and delivering value to our customers.
Right. So it's obviously a technology focused company.
Yep.
Is it like technology in that, like is it got a whole lot of very highly qualified technology-based professionals working in the company, or are they more kind of practical mining application people?
It is a combination of both.
Yeah, right.
I mean, in order to create technology that is going to be useful and solving a specific problem, you really need to understand the industry as well. You know, you need to have that experience, otherwise it's going to become a tool that no one is going to be using because it's not practical.
Conceptual.
That's right. So we're trying to get that balance right because it's also important to bring other people from other careers because that helps us with the diversity of thought. That is very interesting because that can open up avenues that probably we as a technical people, we don't see it, but then, you know, you realize that probably you can enable more value to the customer. So
I see. All right. Just let's explore a little bit about your background. You're from the very well-known in mining circles University of Antofagasta out of Chile.
Yes.
I see that you're a civil, industrial and mining engineer with an MBA. You might not be aware, that's my background as well. I'm a civil engineer with an MBA.
There you go.
Just tell us a bit about your career journey, kind of how that sort of got you to where you've got to today, Eduardo.
Sure. So I guess my career started around 1998. I am a mining engineer, as you said, with a combination of industrial engineer as well and civil engineer, which is quite different.
Are they different degrees, or is that all kind of like amalgamated as kind of one degree with different pathways?
Look, the reality is that in Australia, you got mining engineer, I think take 4 years.
Yeah.
In Chile, the civil mining engineer takes 6 years. It's like it's like a mining engineer and a master together.
Great idea.
But then they introduced this concept of the industrial, which gives you a little bit about more business side.
Great.
I took that one.
So industrial, not like in terms of machinery.
No, in business.
The business application.
Correct.
Okay, that's great.
And that was a really good combination of tools at the end of the day, that allow me to connect with the technology. And I guess from my perspective, I always think in myself, like in this intersection. If you think about a diagram bend, you got this intersection between technology, mining, and business.
Yeah.
That's what I
love it. I love it. Technology, mining,
and business.
Correct. Right. Because I know you're a massive student of and champion of innovation. And often you hear this expression that kind of innovation happens at the crossroads of maybe technology,
That's right.
mining, and business. Is that sort of like something, an ethos or a philosophy that's kind of informed your passion for the work that you do, Eduardo?
I haven't thought about that one, but I believe that is true. I mean, I really believe in the cross-functional thing.
Yeah.
I don't believe in things that are in isolation. I believe that the value is going to be enabled when you are actually talking with other people, and you can discover new things.
I see.
Collaboration is a big part of what I think the industry also need to go. And I'm not talking about just as a mining company, I'm talking about as an industry in general. I think there is a huge benefit of that, and we need to be better at that.
I see. So do you kind of, do you subscribe to the view that collaboration drives innovation?
100%.
Yeah, right.
100%.
And where do you see, being a student of mining on many continents all around the world, where do you see our industry in Australia at in terms of collaboration? Do you think we're great at it, or there's a lot more that we could be doing together?
I think we're in a good position, but still there is a lot of things that need to be done. It all depends about, how big is your pocket to innovate as well. There is a lot of, there is different maturity level across the different mining industry, even in Australia. You can face, you can have really good conversation with tier 1 companies, for example, and you can collaborate quite nicely. Sometimes it's more difficult because you ended up in situations like who own the IP or those kind of things. But I believe that the industry is thinking differently now,
Right.
Which is open a good avenue to growth.
Do you see that as kind of consistently the case around the world? Or do you think that there are some jurisdictions where collaboration is stronger than others?
I think there are differences in different countries, different continents. It's a cultural thing too.
Right.
I think in order to collaborate, you really need to think differently.
Yeah.
It's not about I want to win. It's thinking about from the
Creating value.
Correct. And if you really think about it, it's nearly impossible that you can solve all the problems, right?
Right.
So you really need to be open to make sure that the value that you own or the value that you generate, and you get special on that thing, then you can actually open it up to others, bring innovation along, and then discover probably new path of collaboration, new path of solution, whatever you want to explore there.
I see. So similar question when it comes to technology. Where do you see the mining industry overall at? If you kind of benchmarked our industry globally with other industries, whether it's maybe manufacturing or agriculture or financial services, where do you see globally our industry at when it comes to technology, automation, digitalization, that whole kind of technology-based journey?
I mean, just from my perception, I think we're probably close to 65% against other industry. We got another obviously industry that are more mature. But the good thing about mining, and I believe that actually after COVID, believe it or not, mining companies realized that they need to move faster. Okay, and I've been seeing an acceleration of that after COVID, which is really good to see. The companies are realizing that they need to be open to collaborate meaningfully. So which is going to allow us to again open new avenues. I think that's the beauty about when you are open, when you sit down without any thinking about, okay, I want to win this game. I don't think that you need to go in that path. Really.
Totally agree. It's about creating shared value, or creating more value.
Yes.
And those that actually are able to provide input into creating value are going to be, I argue, the beneficiaries of that, the bigger pie.
Yeah, look, I really like, I really believe that when you are open and an emergent thing is going to happen, and that's the beautiful thing about it. But that required a mindset shift. Okay, it's not an easy thing to be like that, but I don't have any doubt that that's the way that we need to move forward.
Right. Similar question, Eduardo, around AI. Where do you see the industry, particularly in Australia? Where do you see our industry at when it comes to AI?
I got mixed feeling of that. I think there is a lot of hype at the moment,
really, right.
and we need to be careful with that. I think one of the things that I addressed in my keynote yesterday was that AI is really powerful. It's no doubt about it, but it's experimental, and particularly in high risk industry like mining, we need to be very careful and separate what is the promise from performance, because at the end of the day, we're working with people, and we need to be very careful with those things.
Yeah, right, gotcha. Slight change of direction. I wanted to explore a little bit more about your background and perspective. I know, or I'm told, you're an avid reader, which is a little bit unusual for engineers like us.
Yes.
But I know that you're very strongly of the view that storytelling and literature shape ideas and perspective. Can you just tell us a bit more about kind of where that viewpoint comes from, and maybe some examples of how that's shaped some of your business philosophies?
Sure. I think, having one of the things in my career for the job that I've been doing across all the years, I've been traveling a lot.
Right.
And surely it's the same thing for you. When you are traveling, you got a lot of time. And so what you're going to do, you read, The MBA also push that angle on me. You need to read a lot.
Yeah.
The good thing about reading is, and I read everything. Okay,
really, right.
nothing in
fiction,
particular.
Non-fiction, everything. Right.
Doesn't really matter.
Newspapers, books, everything.
Yeah, whatever I got in my hands.
Yeah.
Because again, I think the beauty about human beings is the ability to cross-correlate things. And I think that is a fundamental aspect of how we can communicate others' powerful ideas.
Lovely.
Sometimes they are very complex concepts that you can bring back to the earth, in a very simplistic way that others can take it and run with it. And that's what, for me, really.
Do you think as an industry, we've told our story well? I strongly believe we haven't. I feel that there's a perception amongst many people, particularly young people, that our industry's not as sophisticated as it is. It's all about, rocks and trucks. Whereas about automation, digitalisation, it's very much around technology. And some of the stories within our industry are incredible, but I don't think we've done a great job to get those stories out there. Do you agree with that?
Totally agree with you on that one. I think the perception is not fair. I think I am passionate about this industry. I've been working for more than 26 years now in this industry, particularly in technology.
Yes.
And I think, we as an industry, we haven't really told our story right. For me, a couple of years ago, probably, there is a study out there that is showing, I think it was done in Canada, that is showing, the reduction of young people willing to take careers in mining.
That's it.
Which is quite shocking, because if you really think about it, there is no other way. You need the minerals, for living, for the world that we are building together. So that shocked me and got me thinking about how or what we can do to change that story. The only thing that came to my mind is to participate in events like this, or in other industry that allow us to tell things differently. That this is an industry that is quite exciting. In fact, at the speed that the technology is changing, just exciting thing coming,
Yeah, nice, I'll kind of, as we close out this conversation, ask you about kind of, the conference and kind of where you see it going. But I can't resist asking you a little bit about comparing perceptions, community perceptions about our industry in Australia versus Chile. And do you feel, which I've kind of observed for a while, that because of the government's support for the mining industry through its ownership of massive operations like Codelco in Chile, that therefore government speaking for the industry changes that community perception? Because it seems to me that whilst our industry's always got its people criticising our industry, in general, people in Chile understand the economic significance of the industry in ways that they don't seem to in Australia. Do you think that's a fair observation?
Okay, that's an interesting observation. I think one of the aspects from Chile, mining was very relevant for the growth of Chile. Right?
Yeah, right. Okay.
And it was
like hundreds of years. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, but more importantly, you know, when we really put effort in mining in Chile, which probably was around the 90s, when the government or the rules were put in there to open it up a little bit, I think that's where the real power came in, that support and the establishment of clear rules for other companies to invest in there, opening up that avenue.
I see.
However, I really like the mining industry in Australia. I think one of the aspects that is here that attract me anyway is the technology itself. You know, Australia has been leading on that for a long time. You know, a lot of good companies. Maptek is one of those. Obviously, it's been growing from here for Australia. You know, and I think that's a really good thing that we need to continue to do. I can see a lot of new companies creating every day, and that's fantastic because, again, you know, in that diversity is where the value delivered for the customer is going to grow.
Yeah. One little bit of interesting anecdote is that in Chile, a recent survey of 16-year-old people at school identified Codelco as the second most popular company
Is that right?
in Chile behind Google.
There you go.
So I still think that kind of the government's got an essential role to speak for our industry, and not just in terms of economic value, but in terms of community value and regional jobs and automation and technology.
One of the interesting things that, you know, we are facing in countries like Australia, you know, we don't have a lot of people going into mining this day.
Yeah.
The interesting thing with other countries like Chile or even India, you know, you got exposure to a lot, Indonesia as well, you got exposure to really great people and great talent.
Yeah.
That probably can be a solution or an avenue that we can explore more in Australia with different programs, with different things, and that's where probably the government can make the difference too.
Yeah, perfect. Final question from me. I'll play a little bit of a word game with you, Eduardo.
And not that quick, but we'll see.
You know, fast forward 10 years. Where do you see our industry at in a couple of words? Where do you see technology at in our industry, and where do you see Maptek at in a decade's time?
Right. So let's start with mining. In mining, I see a more evolving environment, and what I mean for that, evolving.
Yeah,
you know, and an inclusive environment as well.
So different cultural settings.
That's right. That's right. Embracing, you know, the uncertainty of things, not eliminating things. Trying to understand that we are working in a very dynamic environment.
Got it.
One of the things that I said or shared with the people in my keynote was that. Mining in particular is a multivariable, no linear, real-time environment.
Yeah.
That brings a lot of challenges, you know, because you can apply playbooks. Sorry, you can apply playbooks here. You really need to act and adapt in real time, and that brings the technology aspect.
So more dynamic, yeah.
And that's bring the technology back to the game because it's the only enabler that is going to allow you to pursue those kind of things. And then, you know, what was the third one you said?
Well, third one would be, so the technology was the second
Maptek.
one. And Maptek itself, like, where do you see Maptek at in 10 years?
Yeah, well, you know, we've been working really hard in the next level of technology that we are delivering. One of the things that we are highlighting in this conference is our infrastructure that we are building that is going to allow our customers to improve the integration and interoperability with others.
I see.
So one of the things that we are doing at the moment with our platform is that it's open. You know, it's
open architecture.
Because allow us to collaborate with others in a better way.
Okay.
And I think, again, back to what we discussed before, you know, I firmly believe in the collaboration aspect of it. And as we continue building this mining industry.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited for those kind of adventures that we're having at the moment, and I hope that that I start to deliver more value.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Final question, Eduardo. APCOM, it's been an amazing conference, high quality technical content. For those that haven't been lucky enough to get here, just final word on APCOM, the conference, and how you've found the experience here over the last couple of days.
The experience has been fantastic. I think you are missing a really good conference at the moment, so I invite you to the next one. I'm not sure where it's going to be. Do you know where it's going to be? It's every 2 years, so 2027, just stay there.
It's truly global. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Eduardo Coloma, thank you very, very much. Congratulations on a wonderful career. Congratulations all that Maptek is achieving.
Thank you.
And we really appreciate your time today.
No worries. Thank you very much.
Take care.